All right, so now we're going to be finding nth roots, and this is where we can just work with whatever index, whatever it happens to be. The index could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, and we're going to figure out how to take the root of that. Now you can use your calculators on these if you're not sure what the root would be, but when it comes to a variable, then you have to work with that a little bit differently. So on this first one, it's a fifth root, and we're not going to work with very many numbers on fifth roots because they get big pretty quickly. In this case, this one happens to be an answer of -3 because -3 to the fifth power is equal to -243. So you can always just check, take the fifth root or kind of calculate some to figure out what this would be. And so my answer is -3. Now on this next one, this is the square root of a negative number, so it's not a real number. And if you use your calculator for this one, you will get some kind of error message depending on the calculator. Sometimes it'll say like domain error or something because that would not be in the domain of a square root. And the next one, we're going to use that same technique where we write x to a power and we need it to be to the fourth power. So this is going to be x to the fifth to the fourth because 5 times 4 equals 20. So my root is x to the fifth. Okay, so -1. If I'm taking an odd root of a -1, it's always going to be -1. So whether it's a cube root, fifth root, seventh root, because I can write it, right? -1 to the fifth power is still -1. And I can do that with any of these when it comes to -1. So my answer is -1. All right. All right. I had to stop the video for a minute because I had a blank screen there, and I have a little workaround that takes care of that. All right, so we're taking a fifth root, and 32 is 2 to the fifth power, so -32 is -2 to the fifth power. All right, so we're going to write this -2 to the fifth, and then I will have x cubed to the fifth power. Right? 3 times 5 is 15. I want to split it in such a way as that I'm taking it to a fifth power. So my answers are -2x to the third. My answer, that goes together, -2 times x to the third. Now we're looking at a fourth root. So 81 is, and you guys, you can always just start dividing to kind of figure this out or use your calculator, because if it's a perfect fourth power, then you're going to be able to use your calculator easily. 81 is 3 to the fourth power, and then it's already x to the fourth power, right? So this answer is simply 3x. Now, you might not recognize 256. This is a little bit of a bigger number, but 256 is 16 to the second power. And then if I split my x to the eighth, right, I want it to be to the second power, right? I call this a power to a power. My answer will be 4 x to the fourth. Not 4, I'm not taking the root again. Oh boy. How about 16x to the fourth? Anyway, okay, next. I took the square root of it again. That's what I was doing. Sometimes my thoughts just go a little crazy there. All right, so we're simplifying again. We're continuing on with nth roots. We have already determined that 27 is 3 to the third power. So this answer will be -3. This one is a fourth root, so it's going to be x squared to the fourth power. Remember, I need that exponent on the outside of the parentheses to be equal to the index. And this will be y cubed to the fourth power. So my root is x squared times y to the third. And then the last one is a square root. Shortcut, square root of 9 is 3. Divide 4 by 2 because my index would be 2. So that's x squared y cubed. I do want you to get to the point where you can just look at that and know, oh, okay, I'm going to divide that exponent by 2 in this case. Now, we did one already that had a -243. So fifth root, quit. That's -3 to the fifth, x to the fifth, and then we'll write the z cubed to the fifth power, right? Because the 3 times 5 gives me the 15. So my answer will be -3x z to the third. If you don't recognize that -243, you can always try that with your calculator. And the next one's a square root. So I'm going to basically divide 10 by 2. I know the square root of 9. And then that's going to be x cubed to the second power because this is a square root. So it will be y to the fifth over 3x cubed. 64 is 4 to the third power. So, wait, I'll put my negative out here. So 4 to the third times a cubed. And then b cubed to the third. So my roots are, going to keep my negative out there. That's going to be a 4a over b cubed. All right, I think, yeah, this is a good stopping place. So I'm going to stop here. I don't think I can get the rest of my examples on this video, so we'll do one more.